Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you. Today we're going to be looking at something we haven't done in a while, and couple things actually we haven't done in a while. So we'll be one watching and reacting, reviewing the trailer for the new Pet Sematary movie, upcoming Pet Sematary movie. It's been out for a few weeks already. I've been seeing it. I've already seen it a few times. So I mean, this is more my thoughts on the trailer itself and my thoughts on what the movie's potentially going to be giving us than reacting. But yeah. Also, a little bit of armchair producer. So I'm a big fan of Stephen King's work. And I especially love the fact that his books, so many of his books, short stories and whatnot, connect to one another. In fact, one scene that I actually absolutely love in the novel Pet Sematary is in the beginning, Judd relaying the events of Cujo to the Creeds, but doing so in such a manner where if you've read the book, you know what's going on, whereas you know what he's talking about, whereas if you haven't read Cujo, you're just like, huh, well, that's something that happened. I mean, it's Stephen King, so of course that kind of thing happens. As I recall, it's worded as such. A few years ago, a Saint Bernard went rabid, a few towns over, killed some people, including the sheriff. And it's the kind of thing where, like I said, if you've read Cujo, you're like, oh, hey, he's talking about Cujo. You haven't, you're like, damn, that's messed up. In fact, when I read Pet Sematary for the first time, I was like, oh man, okay. Well, I mean, it's Stephen King, so yeah, all right. And then years later, I read Cujo. I was like, oh. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that. Another excellent, some other things, The Shining. Now, you might not think The Shining connects to anything in any other books that Stephen King has written, but it connects to It and Misery. In It, we learn that Mike Hanlon's parent at the Black Spot fire. Mike Hanlon's father, if I remember correctly, was saved by Dick Halloran, who actually had shine, because of his shine, had realized, oh, this place is about to burn the fuck down. Let's get out of here. And it also links to Misery, as a boyfriend of Annie's that she killed had actually been drawing sketches of the remains of the Overlook, which in the book blew up as opposed to just, yeah. But anyways, of course, there's also the Dark Tower in its entirety, which connects to damn near everything. Anyways, so what would I actually want from and so yeah, I would actually really love to have there to be an actual Stephen King shared cinematic universe, much like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm probably going to contradict contradict half of this video at some point with something else that's coming. But anyway. First and foremost, what I would want is adaptations set when the source material takes place. For example, It takes place in 1950. Let's see. I should have actually written this down, but I make bad decisions. There we go. All right. So, it takes place in 1957 and 1958, as well as 1984 and 1985. I would actually want an adaptation of that to take place with the Losers Club as children in 57, 50, 58, and grown up in 84, 85. That's what I'd love. That's what I'd really like to see. And there are reasons. There are reasons beyond just that's how it was in the book. A big reason for me is the fact that we kind of have this. We kind of look at the 50s with this nostalgic sense of innocence, like, oh, nothing bad ever happened then. But I think that having it set in the 50s and showing all this, like, yeah, we did. On one you kind of like, yeah, bad stuff happened, and one, it wasn't talked about, or two, there's a really fucked up place. Next, I'd want the movies released in a chronological order based upon when they're set. For example, many Stephen King novels actually do have a specific time period that they're set in, and it's part of everything that happens. But I can't think of any right now. But, well, for example, all the Castle Rock stuff. The Body, Cujo, or no, before the Dead Zone, Cujo, The Dark Half, Needful Things, and so on and so forth. Now, these are set at specific points and should be and tell us admittedly overarching story which deals with characters at various points in their lives, but it still covers the events of a town, what happened in a town. Right? Also, the nods and mentions of events and people from other movies, like the Cujo bit from Pet Sematary, or what are there? Richie and Bev showing up in 11/22/63. Mike Hanlon having had his dad saved from the Black Spot Fire by Dick Halloran, so on, so forth. This would also lead to a massive adaptation of the Dark Tower series, which would be on the scale of, I would say, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Possibly more, a bit closer to the source material than Peter Jackson was with Lord of the Rings, but and this is the kind of thing that this is a way down the line kind of thing. Even with starting it would be way down the line. But yeah, this is I mean it's a pipe dream for me. To me, it's what I'd love to see, and I know we'll never get it because, well, various movie studios bought the rights to various books, and Stephen King stuff is not. Stephen King has a big enough name that studios don't want to give that up because they know they can make a quick buck with it. So, anyways, The other thing we're doing today is, like I said, talking about the Pet Sematary trailer. So, first off, let's also talk about the original Pet Sematary. This is not a retro review. It's one of my favorite Stephen King books, and as well as adaptations. The book was released in 1983, while the movie was released 6 years later in '89. It starred Dale Midkiff, Fred Gwynn, and Denise Crosby. You know, to be perfectly frank, it's probably the closest adaptation of a Stephen King movie to date. Yes, there are changes. I think I actually watched the movie before. I can't remember which I watched which I watched viewed first, but I remember just thinking, oh wait, that's okay, that's different, or maybe I watched part of the movie and then read the book and then later on watched the whole movie because I've always heard Fred Gwynn's voice and that New England accent he does in the movie for when reading the book in my head. So that's probably what happened. Like I probably got part of it on HBO as a kid, and then later on in high school read the book and was like, okay. I'm not going to try and recreate the accent. Now the remake comes out this coming March, I believe, and it's got Jason Clarke as Lewis Creed, John Lithgow as Judd Crandall, and Amy Simmons as Rachel Creed. That's right. So yeah, honestly, so yeah, that's the movie. So yeah, let's watch this trailer now, huh? I hate these little. Here's some clips before the trailer actually starts.
It's beautiful, right?
Crap.
It's definitely not Boston. Here we go.
Okay, so he's from Boston in the movie, at least, as opposed to Chicago in the book.
This whole place is ours.
I can got him throwing a whole forest as a new backyard.
I'll accept the jump scare of the truck. That works to me.
It was a myth. Kids used to dare each other to go into the woods at night. They knew the power of that place.
I'm not really sure about this whole ritualistic manner of burying the pets thing with the animal masks.
Something else.
And I kind of did. I hope that they're just kind of trying to
The ground is bad.
say, you're trying to not spoil it for people who haven't read the book or seen the movie.
There is something up in those woods.
But
Something that brings things back.
I like John Lithgow, I really do, but
Sometimes dead is better.
he's not Fred Gwynn, and I appreciate that he's not trying to mimic a New England accent, at least for the trailer. But I don't know. I am looking forward to it, just to see how it is really. I think it's gonna be. I honestly, every time that I've gone to the movies and caught it this last month or so, it's put a smile on my face to see it. So, I, I, I like the cat. I really can't say much about Amy Seamus. I actually IMDb'd her earlier, and I had no. Yeah. Apparently, she was in the second season of Stranger Things, but 3 episodes. That's it. But Jason Clarke, I tend to like him. I can't think of any roles where I've been like, oh God, they should have got somebody else. But I also can't think of any role I've seen him in where like, you know what? No, nah, nobody else could have done that role. As I mentioned, John Lithgow is a favorite. Well, is a actor I love watching in general. So many great roles. If anything, if the two of them plus Samus, they'll probably manage to at least pull off a decent movie, if not an actually good movie. So you know. But yeah, so that's Pet Sematary and my pipe dream of a Stephen King cinematic universe. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I've got a project that there's a project that I am working on for. It might not end up being on Tuesday, but it's something I finally started working on after a while. So, yeah. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I put up new content. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.